Welcome to the Multidimensional Creator. I'm Evangeline, your host. Side effects of listening to this podcast may include becoming radically sovereign over your life and taking full responsibility, breathing deeper, moving in new ways that make you feel really good, doing energy work on yourself, your animals, your land, and the planet. Trusting your intuition, grounded clarity, and inspiration. So consult your intuition before proceeding further with the podcast. Okay, so who out there loves podcasts? I bet you do if you're listening to this. I bet a lot of you are auditory learners like me. I bet you're very rhythmic, very musical. Like right now, are you just like tap into a beat? Are you moving your hips just a little bit? Take a nice deep breath with me. Shake out the energy. Just shake out your body. Let any tension just ripple out through movement. Oh, movement, breath. All these things are so important to me. And I love podcasts, which is why I birthed the Next Level Healer podcast when I had absolutely no idea what I was doing or why I was even doing it. But I can tell you one thing. I can tell you why I like to listen to podcasts. And that's what made me want to share my knowledge, my experiences, my trial and error method of learning in life, and my stories. Story medicine is a big part of this podcast. It's a transmission of frequency. So do a little dance with me. Breathe deep, settle in for an activation. So, would you like to create your own podcast? It's something that I would love to help you do if you're into it. But I feel like after 5 years of podcasting myself, I finally have a very clear understanding of what I'm doing. Isn't that funny? Because I definitely am an experiential learner. So I love to try things. I love to experience new things. I was listening to David Bowie talking about that the other day in an interview, and he was just like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why I had to experience everything. I feel very similar, and I bet you do too if you're drawn to spend this time with me in frequency. But I know why I want to do this so clearly, especially after doing a really in-depth mentorship program for healers that went through half of 2024 and all of 2025. I counted it up. I was live with my group 225 times just in 1 year. So I was doing a lot of recording. It just wasn't being pumped out to the public. It was more for my mentorship private community. And we completed that. And I learned a lot from the process. And I hope and think that they learned a lot too, because they have given me great feedback that they loved it. And I miss them. And I want to keep the community growing. I want us to build this new earth together. And it's so apparent to me that the name of my community and my podcast, The Next Level Healer, was appropriate for the time. It was perfect for the shutdown of 2020 when people like me who make a living putting their hands on other people were not allowed to go to work. There was some crazy times, and I used it to transmute all of my fear, resistance, and judgment, to be honest with you, around technology. I was like, I'm going to move past this. This is going to be the lemonade that comes out of the shutdown. I'm going to take lemons and make lemonade. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't do it without a lot of unknown, a lot of fear, a lot of just trying different things. I can tell you so much about how not to do your podcast and what to focus on if you really want your podcast to make money or if you're just doing it for creative expression. Yeah, we're going to get into some very good tutorial episodes that are about being a frequency transmitter. Because you guys, do you know that now that we have fully stepped into the age of Aquarius, your fifth chakra, your creation portal in your throat is different. And it's been my highest work, my joy to refine this creative center in me and to learn how to protect it and preserve the energy that comes out of it so that I can share a really good gift, a great transmission and activation with you, because our voice is where our power is at. Now, as I say that, that's especially true for a manifesting generator like me. And if you do not know your human design, oh man, well, you will if you ride this ride with me and if you come along into these little portals and journeys that we're going to do together. We're going to have lots of adventures into how human design has changed, how our chakra system has changed, and how, just about everything has changed. So what do we do with that? How do we expand and how do we now build the new earth? This podcast has become more for creators and less for healers because I don't feel like we're focused so much on healing at this point. We've done that. It was a good bridge to get us where we needed to be, but we're not staying in trauma loops. We're not identifying with what needed healing. There's nothing that needs healing at this point. We are complete. It is time to build. So what have you noticed? This might be a really good moment to take a deep breath, write in your journal. What have you noticed about how you have changed since March 21st, 2025? Spring equinox was the end of the world, if you don't know it, according to a lot of ancient prophecy and being connected to nature in a lot of different ways. Nature works in cycles. So we stepped into what is known as the golden age, the age of Christ consciousness. We stepped into that on March 21st, 2025. We left behind thousands of years of the age of iron that was about corruption and greed and an imbalance of masculine energy. The age of Christ consciousness isn't about it being feminine or masculine. It's about balance, because we're both. And so now we get to play both roles. We get to be nurturer. We get to be warrior whenever we need, however we need. We're going to talk a lot about that in here because I've been studying polarity since 1995 when I went to massage school, and I totally fell in love with energy healing. So I want this podcast to be a lot of things. I want it to be story medicine, time well spent together, like we're taking a walk or we're sitting by a fire, sharing really powerful medicine with each other. And when I say medicine, I mean that in the shamanic term. I mean the good stuff of life that makes us feel the real, not a prescription or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the real deal medicine, because shamanism is my spiritual path. It's my way of life. So if you walk this beauty way with me, consider us in ceremony every single time you're turning on that podcast. If you're putting your headphones on, if you're taking me with you in the car, if you're hanging out with me while you cook a meal or you walk your dog or you're folding laundry, that's how I like to learn and listen to podcasts. I found podcasts to be an incredibly supportive way for me to re-enter the digital world after 5 years off the internet. I'll be more specific with you. It was a little over 4.5, a little less than 5. And when my dad died and I broke up with my boyfriend, I thought I'd be off maybe 6 months. I'd give myself a little space. And I'll come back on in about 6 months. And what I realized very quickly was, no, I'm an empath. I'm very energetically sensitive, and I did not know how to make technology work for me. I only knew technology was hitting me hard. It was affecting me. And I wasn't going to go back on until I knew how to use it as a healing tool and to be the alchemist of my life. And so that's what it took. It took 4.5 years. So when I came back, I found podcasts to be very comforting and hopeful and very educational. The amount of wisdom and knowledge I was receiving for free, I just couldn't even believe it. I was listening to Daniel Vitalis on his Rewild Yourself podcast, and he was teaching me how to be human, more human, and live in harmony with the earth. And I was like, how in the world is technology helping me with this? And then I found medicine stories with Amber Magnolia Hill, and it was the same thing. Like her podcast even says, we're like remembering how to be human, you know? And then I found a woman who supports people coming out of narcissistic abuse. And I didn't even know that was a thing. And I didn't know that I had been through it. And she taught me so much. And I just appreciated all the help. And right now, you guys, what I'm doing, if you can hear, I've got these sound blankets and I'm under my copper pyramid that my brother made for me. And I'm trying to get myself exactly in the position that I want to be in. So if it sounds not exactly perfect, it's not. I'm still figuring out the position that I want to be when I give you a transmission. I'm still figuring out where I want to be when I do this. And that's all just a creative work in progress. And it's been going on, 6 years now. 6 years I've been just in this creative space of wonder and play. And it's not going to stop. Podcasting is a part of who I am now. It wasn't a phase. I'm here to stay. And this is here to last. And I love you all. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to Multidimensional Creator. That's you. Are you ready to be fortified and sustained and lifted? I am so ready to be here for you as we build community. Let's build this new earth in the age of Aquarius together. Thank you for spending time with me today. If this episode supported you, come connect with me on Instagram at Evangeline Hemrick. You can find my website, evangelinehemrick.com. And we also have a supportive community for multidimensional creators like you on Facebook. To go deeper with me in one-on-one work, you can book a private session with me on my website. Until next time, stay embodied, stay sovereign, and keep listening to your intuition.